It's been 20 years since the first alien invasion hit Earth back in 1996. Right now, things are calm. Countries have come together and formed ESD, which stands for Earth Space Defense. They've taken technology from the alien ships that crashed and used it to create a system that warns them if more aliens show up. ESD's headquarters is in Area 51, but they've also got stations on the Moon, Mars, and Saturn's moon, Rhea. But the ex-president, Whitmore, keeps having these strange nightmares about aliens watching them. In his dreams, he sees a weird shape, a circle with a line that he can't seem to stop depicting. Right now on the moon base, Jake and Charlie are dragging new parts of the base's defense system to build a huge weapon. While they're doing this, something strange happens and the vehicles can't hold the weapon up anymore. Commander Zhang tells the boys to stop, but Jake doesn't listen. He uses his ship to push the weapon back up, risking a dangerous situation. Jake triggers the fusion drive, which could destroy his ship, but he acts quickly and fixes the weapon before anything. When he gets back to the base, Zhang scolds Jake because he thinks Jake caused the problem. At Area 51, General Adams rushes to the base for an emergency. The aliens they've held captive for 20 years, which were motionless, are suddenly awake and shaking in their cells. Adams tries to reach the ESD director, but he can't be reached. It turns out David is in Africa with Floyd, a government representative. They're meeting Warlord Umbutu, whose base is surrounded by strange alien remains. They're not thrilled to see David, but before things get tense, Catherine steps in and assures the warriors that David is with her. It turns out Catherine has been working there to study the psychic connection of Umbutu with the aliens. Catherine shows David the only ship that landed on Earth 20 years ago. The locals had battled the aliens who emerged from this ship for a decade. Umbutu explains that the ship's lights came on by themselves 2 days ago. They also find a massive hole in the ground, revealing the aliens had been attempting to drill into the planet's core but stopped when the mothership was destroyed during the First War. The group enters the ship and finds the computer sending a distress call, which David recognizes as someone on the moon already answered. Jake video chats with his girlfriend Patricia, who is Whitmore's daughter. Patricia tells him that the International Legacy Squadron, including their friend Dylan, will visit Moon Bay soon. Years ago, Jake nearly caused Dylan's death during a flying test, so Patricia wants Jake to make amends and admit his fault. Dylan is the stepson of the hero of the First War, Stephen. During lunch, Jake meets Dylan, and instead of being friendly, he teases him, claiming Dylan was in his way. Dylan reacts by punching Jake, catching the attention of Zhang. Jake covers for Dylan, saying he simply tripped, then heads back to his room where he confesses to Charlie that he went too far. At the medical bay, Area 51, Dr. Isaacs visits his husband, Oken, the research director who fell into a coma during the First War. Isaac is surprised to see Oken suddenly wake up. Meanwhile, Adams receives news that the base on Rhea has been destroyed, putting them on red alert. In Africa, David finally gets informed of the emergency, but Catherine is still trying to analyze the circular drawings scattered around. Umbutu also shows them all the drawings he made based on the visions he's been having since the ship woke up. The circle resembles some sort of device, and Umbutu has managed to decode some of the aliens' language as well. On the moon, people notice a swirling formation in the atmosphere. It turns out to be a wormhole from which a spherical machine resembling Umbutu's vision emerges. President Lanford and David realize the machine might be a spaceship. Lanford suggests attacking first, but David argues that it could be from a different alien race with different intentions. Lanford allows the ESD Council to vote, and attacking first wins. Zhang hits it with the giant weapon and brings it down. David proposes studying it, but Lanford decides to send a team of scientists as David must return for political reasons, leaving him furious. Lanford then makes it public that they have successfully defended against a second attack. Whitmore, watching it on TV, becomes nervous because he senses that these aliens may not be the same ones. Patricia tries to calm him down and he goes to bed. But later, Patricia checks on him to find him gone. Meanwhile, Jake goes against Chang's authority, takes a shuttle, and heads to Africa, where he picks up David, Floyd, Umbutu, and Catherine. Traveling through the debris field of the old mothership, they locate the sphere, and Jake and David move closer to retrieve it. On Earth, the US is hosting a celebration of their war victory when Whitmore interrupts Lanford to try to warn everyone, but at that moment, he feels a sudden headache and collapses. In the hospital room, Oken is also struck by the same intense pain, followed closely by Umbutu. Meanwhile, on the moon, a new alien mothership arrives. Charlie quickly rushes to take control of the shuttle and rescues Jake and David just in time to avoid being crushed. On Earth, Adams receives the alert and cancels the celebration while Jake assumes control of the piloting so Charlie can use the robot arms to retrieve the sphere. As they succeed in retrieving the sphere, they realize the mothership possesses its own gravity, pulling the shuttle towards it. Zhang tries to defend using the giant weapon, but the shot misses. In reply, the mothership fires back, destroying the giant weapon. Just as Zhang commands an evacuation, the ship swoops too close, causing significant destruction to the base. The ESD uses the orbital defense system, but the mothership swiftly destroys all the satellites before they can shoot. Moments later, the mothership arrives at Earth, dragging Jake's shuttle along with it. The ship's gravitational pull lifts people and buildings alike, causing massive destruction to the cities. Lanford issues orders to evacuate all coastal cities, but some boats fail to receive the message in time. David's father, Julius, calls David when he spots the ship getting closer. However, their conversation ends as the mothership lands in the ocean and Julius is struck by another boat. Elite pilots rush from the moon to aid in the defense efforts, but Dylan arrives too late. He notices his mother helping a woman and a baby to safety before she tragically falls down. Whitmore and Patricia are in Area 51, where they are unexpectedly joined by Oaken. They discover that the caged aliens have become more aggressive, with Oaken interpreting that they are celebrating. Meanwhile, David and the rest of the group also arrive at the scene. In a bold move, Whitmore enters a sealed room with one of the aliens in an attempt to establish communication. However, the alien immediately seizes Whitmore with its tentacle and speaks through him, announcing the arrival of her. Catherine then shows the alien a circular symbol, provoking a furious reaction. As the situation escalates dangerously, the soldiers intervene. They shoot the alien, but their bullets prove ineffective. Umbuta intervenes, using his blades to attack the alien. It becomes apparent that the alien's large body is merely armor, concealing a smaller entity inside. Umbuta swiftly dispatches the small alien, putting an end to the threat. Meanwhile, a group of siblings recently orphaned navigate through the debris in an attempt to escape. They stumble upon Julius unconscious, but he soon awakes, and they bring him along with them. Back at Area 51, the team conducts scans of the mothership, leading David to realize a queen is controlling this vast hive of aliens, and she has just arrived. An aircraft provides a live feed from beneath the sea, revealing that the mothership is drilling. It becomes apparent that the aliens are targeting Earth's core, posing a threat to all life. David suggests to win this battle, instead of destroying the smaller ships, they need to focus on eliminating the Queen. Lanford approves a mission to locate and neutralize the Queen, with all pilots preparing for action. Drones will lead the way to disable the shields, then the bombers will shoot cold fusion warheads that should penetrate the hull and eliminate the Queen. The pilots approach the mothership, which triggers its defenses immediately, making reaching the top impossible. After losing 2 bombers, Jake suggests entering the ship as their only chance. Dylan agrees, acknowledging the risk but also seeing it as the only option. Adams approves their plan and orders backup for them. Once inside, the pilots are amazed to discover a complete ecosystem within the ship. Meanwhile, Whitmore wakes up and warns Patricia that the Queen is aware of their approach. Patricia rushes to inform Adams, but it's too late. The Queen emits a special wave that disables all the jets, causing them to lose control. Despite this, they release their bombs in an attempt to complete the mission, but the explosion misses the Queen due to her energy shield. Suddenly, a massive wave emerges from the alien system, knocking out satellites, the Area 51 base, and the President's bunker. Seizing the opportunity, the mothership attacks the bunker, resulting in the deaths of everyone inside, including Lanford. Shortly after, military leaders arrive at Area 51 and declare Adams the new U.S. president. Catherine shows Oaken's drawings to Umbutu, and he translates some of them. The drawings mention an intergalactic war and stopping an enemy before it reaches Earth. This makes Umbutu realize the sphere wants to be an ally. Inside the mothership, Jake and Dylan, along with a few other pilots, hide in the ecosystem to avoid being caught. Meanwhile, Oaken manages to open the capsule with a special laser. Floyd comes closer to touch the sphere, but it begins absorbing his hands. After a few seconds, the sphere releases Floyd before starting to communicate in the English language, which it absorbed from Floyd's mind. At the same time, the Queen puts on a huge armor, and the pilots can only watch as the top of the mothership suddenly takes off to initiate a new attack. The sphere starts explaining that it intercepted distress signals from aliens and came to warn humans. However, humans attacked the sphere without asking questions. The sphere species has fought these invading aliens before. They call the mothership's ships harvesters because they collect resources from planets for fuel. This sphere is the sole survivor of its planet, holding advanced technology. It teaches refugees from other worlds on a hidden planet how to build weapons to defeat the invaders, which is bad for invading aliens. Now that the sphere is activated, the Queen can track it. David suggests that they can bait the Queen. Oaken and David believe they can hide the real sphere inside an isolation chamber and mimic its radiation signal with a decoy filled with cold fusion bombs. The only missing piece is a way to track the Queen, and Adams reveals he still has a radar truck from the previous war. Adams and David discuss with the remaining pilots that, since the satellites are offline, someone must manually fly in to detonate the bombs. Patricia volunteers, but Whitmore intervenes and takes on the mission. Meanwhile, Julius wakes up and convinces the siblings to take him to Area 51. However, they're running low on gas and moving slowly. They stop at a gas station and find a school bus filled with abandoned kids. Julius takes charge and starts driving the bus toward Area 51. Inside the mothership, the pilots discover the aliens' hangar. Jake rushes ahead to distract the aliens while his friends steal the jets. The aliens react angrily to Jake's insults and open fire, but before they can harm Jake, the pilots take off in the jets and rescue him. Immediately, the aliens give chase and try to close the hangar doors, but they manage to avoid being shot down. During the battle, Jake apologizes to Dylan for nearly killing him years ago. The pilots manage to escape just before they close the door. Meanwhile, the Queen arrives with her army and an assault begins. David notices the bus with Julius and brings it to his sector for protection. The sphere is placed in the isolation chamber, fooling the Queen into believing Whitmore has the real signal. Patricia flies her jet close to her father's and bids him farewell before he makes his sacrifice. As David creates a shield around the alien army to contain the explosion, Whitmore enters the Queen's ship and detonates the bombs. Initially, the team believes they have emerged victorious. However, the alien army continues attacking, and the base's formidable weapon is destroyed. As the smoke disappears, the Queen emerges, which means she survived. David boards the bus with Julius and the kids as they drive away, with the Queen following them. Every soldier on the ground rushes to defend, but nothing is harming the Queen. The boat crew notices only 6 minutes are remaining. At that critical moment, Patricia sees that the Queen removes her shield when she attacks. Patricia looks for the right time and aims at the Queen's weak spot, shattering the shield. In reply, the Queen strikes Patricia's jet, but Patricia escapes with a parachute. The Queen then tries to attack her, but suddenly Dylan and the others return to attack the Queen using her own technology. Meanwhile, the aliens reach the sphere and send its location to their Queen. Dylan and his team lose control of the jets when the Queen manipulates her technology, forming a new shield around her like a tornado. Umbutu and Floyd rush to the sphere to stop the aliens, but in the struggle, one of the aliens manages to injure Isaacs and kill him while Umbutu and Floyd take down the rest. With only 2 minutes remaining, the Queen arrives at the base and begins damaging the roof in an attempt to reach the sphere. Dylan and Jake activate the manual thrusters, which propels them out of the tornado. Just as the Queen grabs the sphere, the jets regain control and the pilots, led by Oaken, open fire at it to remove its armor. As the Queen tries to escape and approach the bus, David moves it back and the Queen falls to the ground, releasing the sphere from her hand. Her death results in all the alien ships crashing to the ground. Celebrations begin worldwide as the mothership leaves the Earth's atmosphere. David is concerned about whether the Earth will survive another attack, but Oaken reminds him that the sphere has a training program on a shelter planet. Humanity's next step is to participate in the intergalactic war. Armed with newfound knowledge and technology that the sphere will provide, Earth is now equipped to face any future cosmic threats. And the movie also ends here. Don't go anywhere. Click the video on your screen to keep these wild movie recaps rolling. Smash that like button and subscribe for more insane movie adventures. I'll catch you film fanatics on the next one.